as we get set for the second half of football. Fantastic football in the first half, Andrew. Let's look forward to the second half. Here's Michael Maney.
What a first half of football we had. 8 goals in the first term by the Redlegs, 8 goals in the second term by the Eagles. It's the Eagles by 4 points. Round 3 continuing. Treby for the Eagles, kicks it, looking for Passador. Couldn't take the mark, went to ground. Loose football to be won. Norwood under pressure straight away. Thomas ducked the head, and the umpire Tony Day, said, "We'll give you some benefit of the doubt, number 44, Matthew Thomas." A ball up. Lindsay got it down. Vince always dangerous in this situation. Lindsay goes in for it again. And another ball up. Immediately Norwood under pressure, Andrew.
And Paul Lindsay really dominating too much for Nicholas in the ruck. Need to try something different there. Maybe bring Meeson on just to check his mobility.
Lindsay once again knocks it down. Culprit. Loose ball. Vince can't get through. Passador lurking. Treby in hard. Vince. The game of inches at the moment. Jared just goes to ground too easily. Andrew Rogers wouldn't like that. You've got to keep your feet. Bailey got it to ball ace. From half back, Bartamucci and Floriani. Not a lot of kilos in that contest. And a ball up.
Interesting, early in the game, Norwood would have hit that kick, or they would have had runners come from behind to hit targets. Now they're starting to kick the one-on-one contest, exactly what the Eagles want them to do.
Lindsay again, instrumental in the Eagles going forward. Stickalella looking for Passador. Ball knocked away. Jackman was clever. James released the ball to Campbell. And now he's on his left side, Thomas. Thomas wide, looking for Sanderi. The bounce beat him. Out of bounds in that interchange area.
For the Norwood in the first half, Borlace and Bailey have each had 18 possessions and Gallagher 15. For the Eagles, Sicalella's had 18, Colville and Treby each 14.
Lindsay again taking front position. Geez, hard to get around. The man Mountain just knocks the ball down. Colville, Jared got the ball loose and then handball 20 metres. Missed Earl. James wanted the boundary line, found it in the end.
And to add to what you're saying, Neil, should have the hit-outs, which have got at Norwood 5, Eagles 19.
It really was the one player that really changed the direction of the game. Early on, Nicholas and Meeson were really competitive in that rucking contest. Since then, Lindsay has just taken control.
I mentioned at one point that they can look slow in the middle of the Eagles, but when you're gifted the ball all the time, they look so much faster. Inkster. Vince knows where the goals are. Bernie Vince kicks a goal. Good start to the second half by the Eagles.
Just continues to grow in stature, Bernie Vince. There was no hint of panic there. Just won an important goal. Tim Inkster hasn't had a great day. Just won an important ball at half forward. And just showing some composure beyond his years as Bernie Vince brings the ball back around. The Eagles get another goal. It's importantly into whatever breeze there is. They open up just a 9-point margin. In my hand, this game has changed.
How about that breeze, Ben Knights? How's it going? Blowing to left of screen in this term.
Yeah, Michael, look, it's certainly picked up and it has continued to pick up through the game. So I reckon there's definitely a 2 or 3 goal breeze to the left of screen.
Looks like the Redlegs about to make a change too, Ben.
Yeah, John Meeson's going to come on. I'd say Tim Nicholas is going to come off, and that's exactly what Andrew Rogers was talking about, bringing Meeson into the ruck to hopefully lift the Norwood balls and get them a bit more footy out of the centre.
Ben Knights on the boundary for ABC Television Football. The big doubleheader this afternoon. Colville just hacks it out of the congestion. Zorzi just leading Oakley to the ball to Hughes. Got it away, bound. Scoot down the outer side. Big De Jong, kicked 3 last week. He's got a couple. He got up and under with the kick, kicked it high. Oh, a lot of Eagles there, and lovely mark by McKenzie. It's those probing long tentacles of Mark McKenzie. And he's let himself down with a kick. Campbell got in front of Floriani. Campbell still going, battling hard. Gallagher, don't give him an inch, he'll take him off. Paul James, who went off the ground for quite some time in that second term. This is Thomas. Thomas has got one in short. It's a real helicopter kick. No one can get on the end of it. Handball over the top. Came from McKenzie to Shattuck. Shattuck is looking to lay it off somehow and waiting for something to open up. Modern day football, you call it at its best or its worst. The kick needed to be precise to Vince from Colville and wasn't. They went across the face of goal, the Eagles. Here's De Jong. We know he's a nimble big fella. He hooks around the left boot. What a kick. He's pretty agile, the boy from East Perth. He's got his third.
Yes, and just look, Mark McKenzie made a mistake, but there's just another mistake with the Eagles. And look, they've worked their way back into the game through sheer hard work. And here's De Jong turning around the corner. Look, would have thought he would have been in the side for his marking. Actually, he's a crummer. He's working as a crummer, so he's a jack of all trades. But look, I'd just like to see him more a one-out competition. If you're going to bomb it in long, kick it to him one out against a smaller opponent.
I don't care what you say, he's not two-sided. Ball came down and Culpert applying a big tackle in there on Colville. That secondary bounce. 73 plays 69, 4 points to the margin. They've just joined us. Eagles, big comeback. They were down by 42 points late in the first term. They've surged to the front. Surging nowhere either side at the moment. It's all caught up in the centre.
If Paul Lindsay has really taken the mantle on now that O'Hara's gone to North Adelaide. He's lifted. I
think just that he gets more game time. Look, the other option for Trevor Hill is to have a third jumper and try to get someone in there that can jump over the top and at least make a contest.
Jared clears the ball. Oakley. Oh, it's too strong there for Zorzi. Perhaps an undersized defender, but Zorzi, and that wasn't a great kick. And that gives Zorzi a chance to come away with it. Thomas, Bailey, now Hughes, looks forward, ball ace, marks it half back, Norwood away and running, ball ace lets his teammate down. Floriani, Cicolella in a bit of space, he's shut down as well. Shattuck, we saw him a few moments ago doing that up on the back line and almost got his side into trouble. This time he finds Jason Earl. He's a long way out and kicking into the breeze. You'd think it's beyond him.
You would think so, because the breeze is going to take it from left to right also, so he really needs to start this probably more at the left-hand goal post. Probably a better option. Just chip it out to the top of the square.
Takes the option of chipping it, but not to the top of the square. Is a long way from goal. Here's Powell, shut down quickly. Working hard was Bound. Now they spread it. Thomas, the look-away hand pass and put it in to the boundary line, and then Paul James trying to milk the free kick, going down under pressure from Powell. Outnumbered in a big way, and it's a free kick eventually. He went back, said, I'll have another go, and the umpire was eventually impressed enough to give him a free kick.
What's going on there?
Look,
he's played the game.
It's not too bad a play because he has picked a second gamer in Adam Spencer. So if you're going to pick someone to do, Justin Cicolella or Gavin Colville are never going to get sucked in there. Who is going to get sucked in is Adam Spencer.
Oh, and he just went past and gave him another clip too. Big De Jong has got it. He's booted 3. Crumming on the forward line. He kicks it long. Meeson's got a fly along with Lindsay over the back. The mopping up done by Colville, who decides to go wide this time in preference to cutting across the face. Oakley just gets around, gets a good shepherd from Floriani. Just a little chip kick is ordinary. Jackman, not as damaging today as last week where he had 30 possessions. Kicks forward over the back, doing the roving is Lindsay. Gets the handball away to Colville, who's had a good game for the Eagles, that's for sure. Cicolella to the run of Inkster. Inkster's got a kick with a non-preferred. He's right boot to Passador. Can't take the mark. Crumbs taken. Earl, can he swing it around? Just through for a minor score. 74 plays 69. The Eagles lead by 5 points.
Just interesting there, we saw Brett James go to the back of the pack, waiting for the crumb over the top. His opponent in Westbrook go to the front of the pack. Brett James just needs to be a little bit more accountable. If your bloke goes to the front, you make sure you stay with him.
Norwood up towards half forward. Bowen overruns it. Campbell doesn't. On the left foot, quick transition. Great goal. And Norwood, well, they've slipped in front.
And they have, just really through exuberance down here. They've moved the ball quickly, there's space. Ball gets over the back, which is a sin in modern day football. And Campbell runs onto it, as he's done previously in the first quarter. Opens up the goal face with his left foot. And just nice acceleration as he moves that away. And as I said, Norwood, just through perseverance, get that 1 point lead back.
Useful game from Bryce Campbell, 4 kicks, 9 handballs.
The Redlegs by the solitary point. Lovely running goal by Campbell, his second. Then one of the prime movers through the midfield and goes forward and kicks goals. That would please Trevor Hill, the coach of Norwood. Scrappy in the middle. Sandery takes Lindsay. Bartamucci goes in and Powell just flings him over his shoulder. And Colin Ralston's just having a chat. And Bartamucci, he is an antagonistic little fella. Umpire saying, play the ball. Hughes does just that. Bombs it inside, attacking 50. Grokey couldn't mark. Spencer back to mop up. A lot of pressure on the kick. It's high. There's plenty of Redlegs there. No mark's been taken by Bartamucci, who chips to Campbell. Not 15. Campbell in trouble. Back to Sandery. Sandery off a step. Long kick. Astray. One behind. Redlegs by 2 points.
Just Adam Spencer showing his inexperience here. Look, fine to go long, hard and high under pressure, but look, you've got to have someone out there. Just bombed away. Norwood had a really good opportunity there to make the Eagles play on the scoreboard.
Well, just dropped in short. That's interesting call of play on there for Grokey. Pedofiarchi, Simmons, hand pass forward. Earl running for him, Treby. Bailey coming the other way. Bailey will shut it down. Left his man Bernie Vincent half back and decided he'd track the ball and tracked it out of bounds. Lindsay having a change down there. Benny Knights.
Yeah, just a stock standard ruck change down here with Big Roberts going on to the ruck.
Well, now is an interesting time in the match. With Roberts opposed to Meeson. What I mentioned earlier, Meeson, a project player at the Adelaide Football Club. Considered to have lots of potential.
I think the important thing from Paul Ince today, we haven't seen his game before, is the way he's hunted the footy when the ball hits the ground. He's been known purely as a tap ruckman. Today, he has been heavily involved, even when the ball hits the ground.
Meeson will have the better of this. Down to James. Missed Paul James. And now he gets in there again. Slips a hand pass to his brother Brett. It's still play on. Gallagher. Campbell was pushed in the back. Umpire said play on. Floriani gave it to Spencer. He dragged back Sandery, and the umpire still calling play on. Ball out of bounds. Back just slightly forward to centre wing for the Eagles. Well, there's an interesting couple of plays there.
Third man up is Bowen. There he is. Andrew Rogers. Cicolella got it to Colville. Colville with a very high kick. And a good mark. Just floating across. And there's a bit of a scrap on the wing. But Oakley's the man who's taken the mark. There they are. They got a bit angry in the last 5 minutes or so. Nothing much in that. Umpires clear it all out. And Oakley will go back and shoot for goal to put the Eagles back in the lead.
9th mark, Travis Oakley, and I don't think he saw the ball in the first quarter. Done very well since then.
What a pickup he's been. He consistently gets where the ball is. Number 36. Kick just dies a bit, and it's marked by Passador. No, play on. Must have been touched. Passador shoots for goal. It's a behind. Mark Passador disallowed the mark. Not happy about it either.
Hopefully we might get a look at this on replay. Just as he goes up, Probably not going to get it. I think. But look, it seemed as though he had most of it. Look, Tony Day was in a really good position as an umpire. Play to the whistle. Kicks a point where perhaps a goal might have been a better reward.
John Meeson, Redlegs fans, hands go to their mouth as Meeson bounced that ball. They work it from half-back. They'll be even more appalled now. Passador just lobs it up. This will be a tester for Oakley and his pace. Meeson gets him away from the ball. Westbrook goal! Yes! Well finished by Westbrook. He's got 4 for the afternoon. And that puts the Eagles 5 points in front.
We saw it early. We saw Matthew Thomas involved there. He just missed a handball. No-look handballs just don't work. At any level, they just don't work. You've got to look at your target where you're handballing. Passador just worked the ball forward. A lot of players went to ground. Westbrook kept his feet, didn't panic under pressure. But early on when the game was there, he was one of the players that was really standing up for the Eagles. Unfortunately for Brett James, it's his opponent that kicks the goal.
What a return by David Westbrook, who's normally a run-with player through the midfield and a bit of a pinch hitter up forward for them. He's got 4.
And Michael just rubbing it into Matthew Thomas, who missed that look-away handball. That is his man, Westbrook, and that's the move that was made at half-time.
Redlegs about to make a change down there with Brunoli about to come on. Hasn't had a run today. Bailey over the top. Can they counter-attack? The Redlegs. Good kick. And spots up Bartamucci. Right at centre-half forward with a breeze behind him. A good kick to Bartamucci. And he'll line up from 49, virtually on the paint of 50. And we could have the old seesaw going with the lead. Bartamucci, good runner, good contact. Good distance, accuracy, just away to the left.
Take no time in bringing it in, the Eagles. And again, it's this side of the ground they're attacking from. Here's Colville. Not a lot of options behind play. James and Inkster clash. Inkster left pointing the finger at James. He thought he got one high. Now crunch. Sandery and Colville meet very heavily, and Colville slow to get up. Why wouldn't you be? Kevin Colville there, number 23 at the back of the pack, and still it's on with James. And we know that that was from something that happened back down the play, behind the play. Meeson and Bound tried to get there. James is in trouble again. Oh, they want a piece of him.
You almost got to reverse the role now with Meeson now getting on top of Roberts in the ruck. Look, now the Eagles need a third jumper to clear it out of the space.
They just need something to clear the space at the moment. Here's Brett James. Now the ball finally cleared away. Thomas, he's happy to take it out of bounds. Well, he thought he might creep away with the ball. He didn't quite get away with it.
There's good positive signs before seeing young Matthew Brunoli actually crash in. It wasn't Mitch Sandra who we normally expect, but young Matthew Brunoli just under the ground and crashing that pack. It's good to see with the young guys having a go.
Campbell with the tackle.
And Brett James has been released from his half-back role, been thrown to the middle. Just realised how important a stage of the game it is now. If you can get your best player and your best in and under player onto the footy, why not?
Inkster creeps the ball forward another 30 metres or so. It'll just be out of bounds in front of the Sir Donald Bradman stand here at the very, very picturesque Adelaide Oval. It's a bit chilly down on the boundary. Benny Knights must be really enjoying that breeze.
Oh, Neil, it's just picked up again as you speak, and it is a bit chilly now. We're in the shadows down here.
No, you'll do all right, Ben. We'll keep you working this third term.
You got a spare single up there, Michael?
No, I've got one of these nice big ABC spray jackets. That'll fix you. Gallagher at half-back for the legs. Umpire calls him to play on. Kicks it long. Over the back, McKenzie. This is Vince. He's copped one in the solar plexus a moment ago, but he's up and running now. Spencer's running full on. So too Joey Pedler. Outstanding play by Pedler to Treby, who's about to get caught. Real worm burner to half forward. No one can collect the football. In goes Brett James. Paul James there also. Slung in the tackle. Vince is getting some important touches in this term for the Eagles. That fickle bounce, that football does bounce on its end and go past. And really clean bowl, a lot of players. On the bottom of that pack is Brett Zorzi. 19 and a half gone. 81 plays 77. The Eagles in front. Close to the Eagles' goal. Dygan got it away. Good work out of the back by the legs. Might have been Brunoli. Free kick. It'll go to bound. They need a couple of quick goals, the Redlegs. They've got a player on him. Ball ace in heaps of space. He takes the mark and go over the top to Sandry. Now Sandry is 40 metres out and closing. Drills it home. Good setup. Ball ace, the man finding some space. You cannot afford to let good players like Ball ace get about 20 metres in the clear.
Yes, and the game was just seesawing. It was really almost a comedy of errors and a real arm wrestle. Just waiting for someone to stand up, and Borlase was the one that found some space, was able to draw Adam Spencer to him, and Sandra just finishes relatively easy. Just in the meantime, while that's happening, Ron Fuller's also addressed that. Is that Paul Lindsay's had his break, a good 5-minute break, and Roberts has come off to be replaced.
Maybe the thinking there was, we'll save him a little bit for the last quarter. He immediately has an effect. Treby roves and then straight to Earl. Earl chips inside 50. Jackman going back. Nice mark. Jackman spreading to the far side. Hughes in space. Takes off. Sandry calls for it long. Comes late. Treby at the back. He's a left footer, so he'll want to use the handball. This time he does, off to McKenzie. Haven't seen a lot of him this afternoon. Makes his way through the centre. Drives it up. Long and direct. And a good mark in the middle of the pack. It's Oakley again. Oh, he's been a force up forward.
And the important thing there was Mark McKenzie's ability to carry the footy. Could have quite easily kicked it the first time, kicked it to a contest, then just has a bounce, just carries it extra 20 or 30 metres, and then he's able to kick over the top. And you can see there that just shakes off Bailey. Zorzi unable to get back and help out, and Travis Oakley has been instrumental. As you can see, 10 marks, 9 kicks, kicked his 1 goal also. Been instrumental in getting the Eagles back into this.
As I said, he flirted with the idea of giving the game away, so he didn't start his pre-season until post-Christmas. He's stripped 5 kilos since then, and unfortunately just away to the right then.
Yeah, just need to finish off his good work. Has really earned better stats than what he's been today. As I said, 10 marks is a really good day out for a forward.
Zorzi kicks long. At the back, ball ace. Hughes, oh, that's quick hands to Thomas. They are moving the ball well. Norwood is kicked down, looking for Blatko, a long way from goal. Bartamucci wants his left leg. Precise, and got it to James. James's kick is all right to Sandry. Geez, dangerous Sandry. And they've got a player in the square. Blatko's got back and he'll take the mark. Good spotting up. Blatko just slipped his man, crept back into the goal square. The kick was good. He kept his eyes on it. It's a pretty good mark from Jamie Blatko, and he'll line up his third.
At important times, you need your best players to get control of the footy. Brett James was able to set it up. Blatko was able to work back into space. Should finish off with an easy goal. The 7-point margin makes it a very interesting last quarter.
It is 7 points the difference now as Blatko rams through goal number 3. And the Redlegs, it's not a bad performance. Let's just have a look at this build-up, Andrew, with Sandry, who's been excellent, hasn't he?
He really has. It looked good to get back quickly. Realised he was probably going to struggle for distance. Let's see if we can move the ball quickly. Spotted Blatko back in the goal scorer on his own. Just slipped Joe Pedler. You see Paul Lindsay just trying to help out there. Makes contact. Relatively easy decision for the umpire. Blatko goes back. He's been a good target up forward today for the Redlegs.
Just joined us. Glenelg walloped Centrals in the early match by 95 points. And Norwood now 7 points over the Eagles. In these competitions, we're talking about the clubs that finished 7th or 8th and 9th last year, Norwood and Glenelg. And the clubs that played in the grand final, the Eagles and Centrals, and they've really been challenged. Here's Passador, unable to get control. Brett James tried to flick out a hand pass. Passador was much more successful to Peter Fiarchi. Inside the forward line again, he goes to Sicolella off the left foot. Sicolella misses his target. Zorzi from the ground, hand pass, that was holding. And it'll go back to Thomas to take the free kick. You have to go back to the semi-finals of 2002 to find the last time Norwood actually beat the Eagles. So they'd still back themselves, the Eagles, no doubt about that. Jackman ran himself into trouble after James gave him the ball. Finally, they get it cleared. Big Shepherd coming in, or De Jong, who was streaking through there. It's a ball goes down for Bound. He pulls it down. Umpire says play on. Still in dispute inside the forward line. Gallagher, he gave it off. Sandery, he gets it loose. There's Bound. He's taken. Umpire calls play on. Peter Fiarchi gets it out of there. It should come straight back in. Brett James, though, tackled by Inkster. Ball in dispute. The Redlegs fans will go stir crazy. Here it is. Here's the booze. Let's have a look at this.
You'd have to say he's control. Oh, maybe he has dropped it, but geez, my first instinct was that it was a mark.
Well, couldn't break away. You heard the Redlegs fans. That was a throw. That'll be too high. Inkster just got one on the shoulder.
Inkster kicks with his non-preferred. Crowd making a lot of noise at the Adelaide Oval as Mackenzie goes long, hoping for a mark at the back. Thomas, Oakley, can he kick it? Oakley shoots and kicks a goal. Well, he hasn't been able to kick him from a standing start to set shot, but he's got his second. 1 point the difference. He has been terrific for the Eagles. So too this man.
Exactly. Mackenzie has started to come into the game, but look, they're moving the ball a lot quicker as they go forward. We saw Inkster get back really quickly and play on, and it just gives your forward some opportunities one-on-one without the back playing rough and getting back. And Oakley, who, as I said, has led up the ground, provided a target all day, gets a reward for his good competitive nature that he's put on display today.
Andrew, we heard down here a few of the Norwood fans not too happy with the umpires there. Well, at half-time, it was actually Ron Fuller who wasn't too happy with the umpires. And I think he had a little bit of a comment to one of the umpires about the Dale Simmons incident where Matthew Bartamucci actually ran through him. And I think Ron was just questioning why Matthew Bartamucci maybe didn't go into the book for that one. So might be one to keep an eye on.
See there, John Mason keeping a close eye on his nose at the moment. Blood streaming from it. And that's put Nicholas back in the ruck against Lindsay, where Lindsay has been dominant. So watch for this out of the centre square. This will be an important breakaway with 1 point the margin, close to three-quarter time. Lindsay gets hand to ball. Stalemate. No, well done by Hughes. Ball ace Bailey. Now Bailey wide with the kick. Forced to go wide. Vlatko on the long lead. 70 from goal. Will turn around and have a look. What's he got on offer? Vlatko just drives it to the hot spot. De Jong, oh, he got up over the back. Ball ace. Ball ace releases the ball towards Colbert. Colbert can't take it. Floriani was more desperate. Now on the ground. Goes to Vince. Vince gets around one. Lucky De Jong came late. And in the end, it's rushed through for the minor score.
Look at a look here, Chishong, goes up high again. Geez, he's an athlete. If he can just teach him more about footy and just strengthen up his hands a bit, you can see him being a valuable force in this competition.
A little bit of Mike Parsons about him.
He's got a good memory there if he's going back to Mike Parsons Day.
And boys, Norwood recruited him as a second ruckman for Tim Nicholas, but just because of his lack of a pre-season this year, he's had a few injury troubles. They're using him as a key forward at the moment.
And I really think if he did go head-to-head with Paul Lindsay, he'd really get pushed around too much.
There he is again, knocking away from Powell. Mackenzie. Good tackle. Peter Fiarchi kicks toward the interchange bench. Good contest this. Ball ace. Brinoli in there. Lindsay. That's all right. Gains his side about 30 metres with a non-preferred kick down the line. Well done, Paul Lindsay. He looks like he's in for a big year with the Eagles, and like you said, getting a bit more game time now that Brett O'Hara has moved to the Roosters.
And had a limited pre-season. So obviously did a hamstring, would you believe, during the pre-season. You wouldn't think someone that moves up slow would do a hamstring, but did a hamstring during the pre-season, and so has had a limited pre-season.
Looks like he's going okay at the moment. Jackman under a bit of pressure. Brunoli, gee, they're keen, the Redlegs, they're running into each other. Dygan, good work to Bailey on the outer side, they're working hard.
25 possessions for Bailey.
Been pretty good for them. Brett James uses James Gallagher, and Fiacci about to get him. Just a sidestep, perfect. Culpet's back on the ground. Thought he might have been injured, but not moving too well. But that kick's wonderful to Hughes. Hughes has got some pace. Been impressed with his game. As his brother went to Richmond, young Cleve. As Hughes kicks long. That thumping kick by Hughes was touched on the line. It was Adam Grokey and Jamie Vlatko. That was a lovely kick. Trevor Hill in the coach's box, just very calm.
Back behind play, Westbrook coming off the ground. We'll get Knights here to have a look at that in a moment as the Eagles bring the ball forward. Bartamucci over the top, knocking the ball over the line. He'll get the applause of the Redlegs fans.
It's been an interesting ball. John Floriani, Bartamucci, you're able to probably broken even. With probably John Floriani just holding him a little bit more than what Bartamucci would like to be involved.
Brett James, scrubby old kick. Floriani over the ball, taken down by Bartamucci. Did he pull it back in? The umpire said no, he didn't. Redlegs fans said yes, he did.
And for the Eagles down here, Neil, Dale Simmons, who got cleaned up in that second quarter, has gone back onto the ground. And Westbrook, as you saw come off there, is just pointing the doctors about a solid knock he got on his right quad. So I think just a bit of a corky at the moment.
Powell, Lindsay's doing it all at the moment. Colville, flanked by Spencer, off the left foot. Nice kick. Made his way to the ball, Cicolella. Quickly turned around, looked for Oakley. Tripped as he went forward. Zorzi stayed on his feet. Good mark. And he just tripped himself up, Oakley. Bailey. Oh, there's a bit of space in front of Brett James now. Shares it with Jackman, running off half-back. Jackman through the centre. Treby tries to get to him. Doesn't. Jackman goes long and high. Vlatko will fly. Ball to ground. And there was Vince. Still it's in dispute in the shadows of the scoreboard. And at three-quarter time, we've got a match set up in the final quarter. It's Norwood 14-7-91 by 3 points. The Eagles 13-10-88. Let's have a quick look through those goal kickers. And they read like this, with the multiples from Vlatko and Borlase and De Jong for Norwood. And to the left of screen there, Westbrook with 4 and Passador with 3. A couple to Vincent Oakley. Now through the stats very quickly as well. We look through there, and the most important one, the centre breaks now with the Eagles. 14 plays 7.
Inside 50 is also 48-38. Significantly in favour of the Eagles, coming home with a breeze. Match is beautifully poised.
Wonderful conditions at the Adelaide Oval. The lights are on. Here's Michael Maney.
Yes, Neil. Yes, Neil, we've just gone only a minute and a half in this final term. And the ball is locked in the Eagles' forward 50. And that ball is not coming out of there. We are set up for what should be an amazing last quarter. This game has had everything. Lead changes. There's Vince. Didn't go 15, or did it? The umpire didn't pay the mark to Borlase. He didn't hold it. Passador in hard. And umpire Rouston will come in and ball it up right in the teeth of the Eagles' goal. And they'll kick with a pretty reasonable breeze in this last term. I don't think it's picked up since about half-time. We'll go to Ben Knights in just a moment. It certainly has freshened, that's for sure, as far as the temperature of it is concerned. Jackman. High kick. Bartamucci, that's a gutsy mark. Worked his way in front. Slips it away to Culpet, who seems to be running well. Got a call wide from Hughes. Hughes needs a shepherd from bound. Got one. Hughes inside 50. Loads up a long kick. Will it bounce through? It was touched. Oh, he did everything right, did Gavin Hughes. And the Redlegs are out by 4 points.
Just really smart play by Heath Culpet. Realised that the speedster was outside him and gave him a handball. Just like to see Gavin Hughes still run and carry the footy, get within inside his range, and then nail the goal.
Well, at three-quarter time, I'm sure Trevor Hill had a few good words to say for his side. Going into the breeze in the final quarter, here's what he said.
go. I just must emphasise the fact and the importance of the run now. And look, this is where you've got to have a fair bit of belief and faith about our fitness levels. You know? Look, we are conditioned for this, okay? We don't do all that training, you know, not to win a game in the last quarter. It's about the last quarter effort. And I'd be pretty sure that they'd be expecting us to be a bit flat, okay? And the best thing to do now is to keep running and dishing it off, okay, until an opening. Now, don't forget, I don't want you sitting way back in the pocket. You need to present yourself behind Lats, okay? So it's a sort of an intermediate sort of roll to a longer roll, but certainly not too deep a roll. I need you to keep jumping like you have been. You know, it was a terrific effort that quarter. You got close back into the game. I need Bounty now to be super competitive, centre forward. But with the, you know, if you go the second one up, we want the big one going forward. I also need our on-ballers to just work it out and to make sure that even if we stagger it slightly so that we don't change both at the same time would be really helpful, so that we've got some continuity there, you know, with someone being on the ball for a while already.
So you can hear Trevor Hill there, the new Norwood coach, really getting his players up and trying to keep them going. He's a very controlled man. He's quite an educated man, so he's not getting too razzed up. He thinks they can run over with that fitness work, how hard they've worked in pre-season. Well, it'll come to show because they're kicking into about a 3-goal breeze here. So can they hold the Eagles or can they push away from the Eagles? We'll wait and see.
They've made a good start, haven't they? Here's Brett James. Shares it back to Barnamucci. Got around one. Drives inside 50. On the lead came de Jong. He was cut off well. Simmons now just fell over. Umpire called him to play on, and so he scrubbed a kick just outside 50. Brett James gave it over the top. Don't know if that was the best option. Now they've got another opportunity. Vlatko, he won't get there. And Shattuck just holds it up. And the Eagles will come away again on this side of the ground through Treby.
Treby's kick to the wing. Didn't advantage anyone. Getting back is Hughes. Now we need a couple of shepherds here. Dishes off to Zorzi. Zorzi over the top to Thomas. Kept his eyes on it. Got around Inkster pretty well. He looks a good player, this bloke. Kicks down the line. De Jong. We know he's pretty mobile. Kicks with the left boot. It's a good kick. Oh, an injury to Dale Simmons. He's hurt his ankle by the looks of things. He is in a bit of trouble back there. Keep an eye on that, boys. Up goes Vince a little bit early. Zorzi got it to Hughes. Thomas has got to stand under it, but Simmons is in a whole heap of bother, as you can see. I think he may have done some damage to that ankle. He is in trouble. Sandary just chips it short. Campbell outside 50, spears the kick, and looking for ball ace. Colville was there, no free kick. Norwood fans not happy. Powell for the Eagles, spots up Sikalella. Ben Knights is keeping a close eye on Dale Simmons, one best first-year player last year. Ben, the story.
Certainly, and Michael, Dale Simmons came down very toughly on that, very tough, that's a good word, on that ankle and rolled it over, and he was in a lot of trouble straight off. He's been carried off, and Luke Jarrett's gone on for him. He's had a tough day, Dale Simmons, with obviously getting cleaned up by Matthew Barnamucci in that second quarter as well.
Thanks, Ben. And the marker we played, a Stewie bound, or was it a free kick? Holding on. Well, the Redlegs could get the first goal of the last quarter. Let's have a look at the Dale Simmons just before Stewie bound. Oh, just there.
That's one of those unusual ones where it looks like he's done the inside of the ankle rather than the outside.
Stewie bound to bring it out to 10 points for the Redlegs. Across the face. False alarm. One behind. Redlegs by 5.
And importantly, the Norwood game plan actually lends itself well to going into the breeze where they run and carry the footy and use each other and promote runners from behind. So look, into the breeze shouldn't really have too much effect on the way they play.
Treby took on his man, stripped of the ball. It'll be a free kick. Well done by Sandary. Put the pressure on. Norwood throwing all the punches in the early stages of the 4th round of this match. Ball inside 50 for Vlatko. Came late. Shattuck couldn't take it. Colville. And the ball finally taken out of bounds by Gavin Colville. They had 8 goals on the board at quarter time, Norwood. They've only got 14 now.
The game has changed. The first half was really open and free-flowing. As the players have got tired, They have not hit their targets as well. They've not run as hard, and they're not as fresh. So they just don't seem to be as keen and as eager, and as I said, hit their targets as much in the second half.
Inkster released that ball. Jarrett kicked it out of defence. There's Bernoli, who was interested in taking the man. He was taken down himself. Still a ball in dispute. You want a clean possession here. And it comes away to Norwood. Bernoli in trouble. Got it to Hughes. He's quick. Hughes inside 50. Flatco from behind. And a great defensive mark taken there by McKenzie in the middle of the pack. He clears to the far side for the Eagles. I've noticed Gavin Colville and a couple of other players starting to cramp up. You heard Trevor Hill talk at three-quarter time about the fitness of Norwood and about why they've trained in the pre-season to be able to run out matches just like this.
And importantly, they would have started 3 or 4 weeks before the Eagles, because the Eagles obviously went deep into last year's season. Norwood were able to get up and running a lot earlier than the Eagles. So, look, it should serve them in good stead in this last quarter.
No left foot, Johnny Meeson. Goes to McKenzie, last year's best and fairest for the Eagles. Spots up Luke Powell. Powell loves the Adelaide Oval. Won the medal for Anzac Day last year. Bernoli will ever bounce. I don't think he'll bother. Kicks with a wobbly old left boot, but it might come okay. Shattuck's got to stand and wait. Nice and calm, bit of AFL experience there by Shattuck. Over the back. A beautiful mark. Taken by Spencer, chips it away, looking for Sikalala. Sikalala inside 50, Passador. Will he be the man? Passador can't pick it up. Will he go off the ground? In comes Treby. He'll hook it back, will he? Didn't go 15. Umpire said play on. Vince over the ball. Will they ping him? No. Cuts a break. 14.5 metres that kick, Andrew Rogers.
The game was really mirrored last week's Eagles game against Glenelg, where Glenelg jumped and the Eagles fought the way back into it and used too many petrol chicks to get back into the game. It appears as though similar today is that a lot of their players are cramping, they look tired, they're not generating the run. The game is there for Norwood if they are prepared to have a belief and able to run and take some risks.
Bernie Vince just jamming it on the boot for a behind.
Busy day, 23 possessions for Bernie, 18 kicks, 5 handballs.
Here's Meeson. Big ruckman taking his time. Flanking him was Jackman. Goes for ball ace. Sits it up, ball ace goes around and gets to the front. Another ball taken down. Spencer couldn't take it. Norwood break again. Inside 50, the kick from Sandry for De Jong. He got up, he just couldn't take the mark. Pedlar, haven't seen much of him, but the defender that he is, professional that he is, he took it to the boundary line well.
He's had a professional game, Neil. Hasn't had a kick, 3 handballs.
Wouldn't worry him.
It's not an enjoyable day though, is it, without having a kick?
No.
You go home to your wife or your girlfriend, partner, whatever, and say, I never got a kick today.
Jeez, I played good though.
Literally.
Yeah, but he didn't get a kick either, whoever it was. Now ball down to Inkster. Blind turn, out of trouble, barrels it towards the boundary, and Meeson comes over the back of Lindsay and knocks it out of bounds. One other game this afternoon, South Adelaide. Last time they were at Encounter Bay, they got flogged by Sturt by 93 points. This afternoon, 21-13 South Adelaide, 139, beating West Adelaide 12-11-83 by 56 points. Ball tossed in. Lindsay, dominant. Shattuck, Powell, Jackman, slow off the blocks, comes over the back. Treby will have the pace on Zorzi, you think. He wants to go to his left, and Zorzi runs him down. It's called play on. That'll upset the Lex fans even more. Oh, that was the payback. Thomas wasn't called for throwing the ball. Now it's in close. Jarrett taken down. Oh, the pressure goes up. Luke Jarrett taken to ground. He's got an interesting story too. He sent an email to all the SANFL clubs in the hope of getting picked up, and Luke Jarrett has been picked up, as was Treby then in that tackle. Ball out of bounds, forward pocket for the Eagles. They were going to goal and they looked like they were going to kick one.
No, it's just a great tackle by Brett Zorzi. Look, that just typifies what Norwood have been about today. They've harassed the Eagles all day. Look, just tremendous the way he's able to run down Lee Treby there.
Surely it had to be a free kick, but we're on with play. Umpires have been pretty good today. Bailey got it out. Treby, Inkster, non-preferred right. Had the kick smothered. In goes Bernoli. Ball up again. 13 minutes gone. 4 points the difference. What a game of football we've had. Norwood coming out of the blocks. They led by 36 at quarter time. And then the Eagles by 4 points. Sensational game of football. Overrunning it was Sikalella. Powell goes in. Crowd want ball for everything. When it gets tight, they just love a free kick. Half of them anyway.
Where Paul Lindsay comes into his element here. We saw him release Bernie Vince earlier, expecting to look for some space. The Eagles try to create some space for someone to run into.
Mason knocked it down. Vince taking the ground. Hughes. Kick marked by Shattuck. The Eagles look to set up again. They had a couple short. Powell's very, very short. Shattuck's run off the line. So decides to load up a long kick. Lindsay! The big man, Mason, just slipped. And away Lindsay just got a yard on him. What an important kick this is from Paul Lindsay.
And look, just an important kick here from Marishak. Look, they even favoured Paul Lindsay, though. He could have quite easily kicked it out to the other side where John Meeson was in best position. Kicked it to his favoured side. Unfortunately, Meeson fell over. Lindsay, 50-50 from here.
50-50. Andrew Rogers, the number 19, comes in and says,
I'll take that back.
what do you think about that, Andrew Rogers? The Eagles are in front by 2 points as we've ticked in the 14.5 minutes in this last quarter. And the big man, Paul Lindsay, strutting his stuff at the Adelaide Oval.
Just an important time in the game where Roberts has gone into the ruck, Lindsay's gone forward to create a marking contest. This is what he brings. All of a sudden, you put some panic in. Mason falls to ground. Norwood now have to man Lindsay up and full forward, but importantly, Roberts needs to get his hands on the footy in the middle so the Eagles get first use of it.
Fifth lead change of the match. And this time it's the Eagles back in front. 2 points. Mason did well. Sikalella at it best. Still in dispute. Culprit came through. And then he grabs Colville. He's not going to let him go. And we get a ball up at centre half forward. Norwood forcing that ball forward. Still a fair breeze blowing out there to the left of screen.
And Norwood worked very hard into that breeze, and because they couldn't quite get the goals on the board at the start, I hope that hasn't stopped them and stopped their run, but we'll soon see.
Spoken like a true ex-Redleg. As the ball comes back, thanks for that, Knightsy.
Just after a good game, Neil.
Ball ace into the forward pocket with his kick, De Jong. Just able, seemingly, to do things so lackadaisical. The ball was out of bounds before that kick went up from Bartamucci, who is not the Eagles' favourite boy this afternoon. Bad boy Bartamucci. Yeah, movie with an eye. Throw in 25 metres around from Norwood's attacking end. Culprit going in the ruck, the centreman. Now Brett James, can he inspire his side? Hooks the ball back high, and McKenzie takes another great mark. He'll want to release it to this side. He does. He's looking for Jared. Great mark by Jared. Takes off. He's a left footer, so he's on that left leg. Down towards half forward. Zorzi comes from behind, knocks it away from Oakley, and a great tackle. A great tackle, and perhaps should have been rewarded. Here's Jared again, and again wants his left leg, and he's taken down and holding the ball. That time he got caught.
Had Pryor, I think, didn't he?
Certainly needs to work on his right-hand side of his game. He's been very, you can pick it every time. Very methodical. He loves to come back on his left. Generally, as he gets more known, he's got to work on the right-hand side of his game.
Culbert's got it at half forward, and the kick's a beauty. And he's found Campbell, and Campbell will go back and look at a kick to take the Eagles to a 4-point lead. The Redlegs, I should say, to a 4-point lead. So it got pretty exciting, and they got a bit carried away there.
And he straight off the ground there, Luke Jarrett. After not being able to turn on the inside, he had to come back into trouble, got pinged, and he's come straight off the bench to have a chat with Ron Full on the phone.
Again, that's been an issue for Ben Knights in his career, isn't it? Left footer being unable to turn on the right.
Mate, that is the worst thing you've said today, Neil.
That's a terrible sledge, that is. Campbell's kicked a couple.
From a bloke in a pink tie.
Can he draw it from 45? It's a great kick. The Redlegs are back in front. And aren't their fans happy about it? They've come a long way the Redlegs. From what I can see, this is good work by Culpet.
Yeah, it is. Certainly just didn't blast away. Shows all the experience. Could have just blasted away and kicked it he had a shot at goal or tried to kick it to the top of the square. Just able to pinpoint Campbell over the back, who's kicking for goal, has been exemplary today. Just an important 10 minutes. The Eagles lose this game. They are 3 games and percentage behind Norwood. Probably a top 3 spot at the end of the year goes out the gate as well.
Already? Well, that's an interesting call. Brett James passed it to himself. Finally, it comes clear. They'll go inside 50. And looking for Vlatko, he couldn't take it. Joey Pedler goes down the line, hit hard. Coming across was Jackman. And Big de Jong hit him in the end. Jackman was actually on the ground behind.
Make no mistake, the Eagles need to make something happen here. They just can't rely on just grinding this out. Might be time for Mackenzie maybe to get moved in the middle for the last 10 minutes.
Inkster, head down. Well, there was an argument there that said he never really tried to dispose of the ball.
The score hasn't changed much. It's scored just 1 goal each, and yet Norwood have been inside 50 16 times to the Eagles 4.
Lots of pressure on. And Cicolella just showing his class. Blind turn out of trouble. What a comeback it is for Earl. Spent last year at Malala, work and study reasons. Zorzi from behind just punches. Ball to the front. Treby, Vince, his vision was, well, it was all right. They had the numbers. Norwood shut him down, though, again. And eventually the ball over the boundary line. Well done. Brunoli in combination with that man Borlase.
Moggy, we'll give you a next break. Gavin Colville versus Borlase. Just a stat, because they've run with each other all day. Borlase really on top early. Gavin Colville forced his way back into the game.
Borlase 25, Colville 23.
Pretty even. Spencer, a reverse torpedo. No one can mark it. Bailey there. So too Oakley, who's been so good for the Eagles. Zorzi spun around the tackle. Bailey. Good enough to James. Brett uses Borlase. Spencer should take it and knocks it down. Good stuff by Inkster. Oh, he got away from a couple. And run down by Campbell. The Red Leg faithful love it. They cheer. What a run down by Campbell.
2 inspirational bits of play. Brett Zorzi runs Treby down, and all of a sudden another one there by Inkster by Campbell running him down. Look, just might make the difference at the end of the day.
Bernie Vince takes a spell on the bench down there, Ben.
I just had 2 touches in 1 minute. It's more than I had in my career.
Well done. And that right boot wasn't working too well in that career. Number 37 for Norwood, I think. Taken by Inkster. That's another sledge.
Don't get on board too, Michael. That's just cheap shots.
Inkster kicks. No one can take the mark. Zorzi's good. Uses Hughes. Now Hughes has got a paddock. He can run. He can sprint. He can carry the football. The kick's a beauty to Meeson. Now the big loping John. What can he do? He kicks it inside 50. Hoping for a mark. Vlatko. Well done, Pedler. And there he is. Number 57. Cool as a cucumber. Mackenzie just measures the kick to Cicolella, who kicks it down the line. And Roberts just took off. Got it away to Fiacci. Fiacci kicks high. Who can take a mark? Eagles need one. Redlegs defending stoutly. Well done by Thomas. Got it to Sandery. Sandery over the top. Legs are running. Jackman to Culpet. Culpet outside 50. Lovely looking kick and finds the big fella in De Jong. He's got it. The big number 33 will go back and look at a kick from 45 metres out directly in front.
Well, we know he's a crummer and he can kick some goals on the run.
What's he like on the set?
Yeah, let's see what he's like on the set shot. But look, just a good contest at half back by Norwood. Then just weight of numbers forced it straight through the middle. And Heath Colwood didn't burn the footy, just waited for the right decision to come up. Jean gets his opportunity now, make a hero of himself.
And Ron Fuller putting Luke Jarrett back on and bringing the big fella Roberts off. So maybe that move, having 2 big men, hasn't quite worked, and Paul Lindsay definitely having to go back into the ruck. And
some blood there, Ben. Looks like John Floriani coming off with a hit into the beak.
Certainly does. Someone's thrown a towel in his face, so he's definitely coming off, and I can't see under it, but I'm guessing there's a bit of blood.
They're working beautifully down there, Ben.
And look, Paul Lindsay had to go back into the ruck too for the Eagles. He's the one that got him back in the game and set it up. Had his 10-minute break. If he's got anything left in the petrol tank, now is the time to use it.
Ticked into 23 minutes. Will this be the killer blow by De Jong? I don't think so. This game has had more twists and turns than an Agatha Christie beauty. Kick just dies. Attempted kick off the ground by Vlatko and just hacked out of there by the Eagles.
Joey got a kick.
Powell held on to. Even worse, he was allowed to go on. Now Treby looking for, unable to find Passador. Oh, interesting handball release there at the back by Zorzi. Now it comes to Gallagher. He's got space to work in through the middle. Shares the ball. Well done to Jackman from Sandry. Jackman through half forward. Looks for De Jong. They'll have to make some yards here. Gets it inside the field of play. Shows the ball and takes off. Can you believe that? And he'll probably kick it as well. No, he won't. He won't kick a goal. It's across the other side. And the mark was taken there defensively. It could be 25 as well. It looked like ball eyes fell across Colville. And De Jong disappointed with himself as we get that shot across from the Women's and Children's Hospital. Looking on the scenic Adelaide Oval. The lights are on. Only a few minutes left in this match. We've gone 24 in the final quarter. And Norwood just holding on by 4 points at this time in the match. Shattuck down towards Inkster. Oh, and crashing through, coming from behind was Thomas. He looks up, inside 50, Vlatko! Couldn't take the ball. Comes to the front. In trouble, Sikalella. Release the ball to Pedler. About handball number 5 for Pedler this afternoon. Treby knows there's not much time. Dobs it up towards centre half forward. Thomas again. He's been great at the back. Bailey's run all day. Norwood protecting the ball. Brett James knew he had one outside. It was Sandry. It's play on. They won't catch Hughes. He's too quick. Hughes through half forward. Again they go for that man Vlatko, and again it's that man McKenzie in the way. He's almost caught. Umpire called. Holding the man. And De Jong.
Robbie De Jong has absolutely flattened McKenzie over there.
De Jong was the offender there. Sorry, Benny. We'll get another look at this.
Oh, just got him in the solar. Have a look at that. The solar plexus first, and then he hit his head.
Yes, I think
he's not going
very
well.
concerned.
Yeah, he's not going very well, Mark McKenzie. He's tried to stand up and gone straight down, so he'll be coming off, and they're calling for the stretcher.
Look, valuable time for both coaches here, and realise there's probably about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. So we really got to, they really got to get their strategy right. Here's McKenzie that tries to get up, and you can see he's just had his knocked down. So I suggest that Mark McKenzie stays down and gets replaced. But just an important time for both coaches, just to get their structures right, have a think about how, like Ron Fuller's got to try to generate a goal, and look, how can I do that best? And that's from Trevor Hill's point of view, look, do I need to push blokes back across half back? What do I need to do?
Well, Mark McKenzie has been the man that's made the difference back there, hasn't he? They've kicked repeatedly to Vlatko, and he's been there. His possessions in the last quarter have been so quality.
His ability just to push back off the centre half forward and push back into space in front of Vlatko has helped Joe Pedler no end. And look, in the second half, he was the man that set it up. He provided run from behind, was able to use the ball well when he went forward. Just would have liked to have seen him played, you know, Bound wasn't really hurting the Eagles. Would have liked to have seen him moved into the midfield.
Here it comes again, bang. That is a sickening blow. He's a big man, Big De Jong, and he's belted him into the turf. Here's McKenzie coming off the ground, and Ben Knights, the two teams got together just a moment ago in some huddle, and both in a huddle.
They did, yeah, they're setting themselves, I guess, for the last 5 minutes, which, you know, it's been such a tussle in this last quarter. It's been a fantastic last quarter to watch, and look, whichever way this goes, it's going to be a credit to both teams. So it's been a fantastic dig that they've had, and the last 5 minutes, can't wait for it.
Can't remember what happened before. Looks like Pedler's going to take the free kick at half back for McKenzie.
Yes, and the players just huddling up.
The Eagles obviously had a chat here and decided to huddle and try to leave space either side, where Norwood have suddenly put some outriders around the outside trying to deny them space.
Outriders? I don't think there is anybody in the huddle except the Eagles players, and the outriders are all Norwood players. And Mark McKenzie, as you can see there, I wouldn't say he's actually alert, but he is awake, certainly conscious, and we hope for everybody's sake that he's okay.
Well, once they call for that stretcher, that's it. It's got to happen. Pedler, as we resume. Long kick. Big pack of players thumped away. Sandry, good luck getting through there. Somehow Stewie Bound did. Ball touched off the boot. Ball ace. Wants to use Campbell. Off the ground. Bartamucci will screw it around to the pocket. Targets Vlatko. Wants to give it off. Campbell kept running. Was he dispossessed? He was. Did he have the footy? No. Brokey, short kick. Spots up Inkster. Inkster to Passador at centre-half back. Passador. They've got to get it moving, the Eagles. Treby with pace. Normally hits targets. Out in front of Vince. Well done by Bailey. Got it away. They're not done with yet. Surely a free kick to the Eagles. No, off the ball. Hughes. Outstanding Hughes. Got it to Bailey. Does the donut. Where does he go? 34. He chips it in short and Duigan takes the mark.
Now's the time to control the footy if you're Norwood. Try to milk the clock. Just control the footy with short passages of play. Just see if you can hit your targets. 10 or 15, 20-metre kicks.
Well, I didn't take your advice, Andrew. It is in the middle of the ground. Vital, perhaps the most vital stoppage in the whole game, this one right here. And who should be there but that big body of Lindsay. Now, McKenzie off the ground. As far as I understand the rules, he cannot come back on if he's taken off on a stretcher. He can't come back on for the rest of that quarter, or as it turns out in this game, the rest of the match. Just being checked out, obviously, by the doctor there. Ball still in dispute in the middle. We'll get another stop play. Another opportunity for Lindsay to impose himself on the match. There is a blood rule in the meantime.
Well, he's coming back on.
Dear. Now, this is very interesting. He's certainly up and around, but I'm pretty sure that you cannot come back on the ground once you've been taken off on a stretcher.
She thought it was 20 minutes, Neil. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I would suspect it's 20 minutes.
Would there be a fine imposed on the Eagles for that to happen? Duty of care on the player.
About that.
There's a second blood rule down here too, boys. Shattuck's come out with a very bloody nose, so there's a double blood rule going on here. We've got the taped up, mummified John Floriani going back on to replace him.
The attrition rate's high.
Oh, what an interesting game this is. We're 30 minutes into the final quarter. Hopefully we can get all of this match in. There's so much of it. So another stop play. Jared comes over the top. There's McKenzie. Last thing he wants to do is to be clubbed again by a tackle.
Maybe he had to come back. Is anyone left?
Well, possibly, but that doesn't mean that the rule doesn't apply. We'll investigate that one. Ball down. Over the top, Mason. Jared got it. Just thumped it forward. Oakley going back. Vince opposed to Bailey, who'll want the boundary line late. Coming in there was Sandrick, taking it over the line. Brunoli, in fact.
And Neil, another very interesting fact down here. I just spoke to the Max Stewart, and they actually said that the stretcher didn't even go off through the interchange gates. So there's another twist to the story.
Well, we could have even more controversy.
Boundary throw in. This game getting close to a finish. Vince. Hurry kick out of there. It's out of bounds on the full. Norwood supporters on the edge of their seats. Why wouldn't you be? They lead. They hang on. They cling to a 4-point lead. James sold into trouble by Zorzi. Zorzi decides to load up a long kick. Jackman, if he can take a mark. He can't. Earl. Thomas, handball a bit fierce. Here comes Passador. Eagles, one chance to score. To the goal square. Can Oakley take it? No. He knocks it down. Vince, a goal. Eagles in front. The Eagles by 2 points. Bernie Vince gets his third. 3 goals, 3 for the young man. And all the work now to be done by the Redlegs, Andrew Rogers.
And just prior to that Mark Passador kick in there, we saw the Norwood brought it back inside, just missed their target, and it opened up all the play back inside. And therefore, Bernie Vince pretty happy to be involved. But good work by Oakley also to bring it forward so Vince can snap that goal. Can only be seconds remaining.
20 kicks and 6 handballs for Bernie Vince today.
Oh, the story just gets better for Bernie Vince, doesn't it? Now there's a free kick in the middle. Lindsay to take it.
Now vice versa. The Eagles need to control the footy, just chip it around.
And calling out the back was Cicolella with his experience. He knew that that was the best way to go. He's missed Spencer with the kick. Now Spencer gets possession. Jared's got his left foot, puts it up 20 metres from goal. And a very, very brave mark taken there by Duigan. I'll need to move this one quick. Can't be long left. 101 plays 99. 2 points to margin in favour of the Eagles, who trailed by 42 points at the 27-minute mark of the opening quarter. And trust me, Cicolella will chip the ball around.
32 possessions today.
He does not want to waste the possession. Now they've got it. And there you go. Straight back. Passador, good experience. Cicolella will call for more of the same. Powell down the line is loose at the moment. This will be a case of man up at all costs.
Pretty simple though. Norwood just need to man up and make a contact.
Passador called the play on. Goes long. It's still at half back. It's in dispute now. And Simon, the Eagles win. What a match. They get home by 2 points. A fabulous end. And the Eagles scoring with just a couple of minutes left in the game. And I'm losing my voice as we go through this one. What a fantastic result for the Eagles. 15-11-101. Norwood 15-9, 99. And the hero at the end, Bernie Vince. This time last year, he was playing in the country.
Yes, absolutely. Had a great game today. I would say 20 kicks and 6 handballs, but just his work around the ground was great. He became involved. He ran through the midfield. And look, neither team really deserved to win. It's tremendous character by the Eagles to fight back. 42 points down at one stage, to fight back, be in front at half-time. Norwood once again really got after them and really forced their way back into the game. And in the end, it was just really a zigzagging game that maybe could have gone either way.
Benny Knights with Mark Passador, one of the heroes for the Eagles.
Thanks, Neil. Certainly am. Mark Passador, a fantastic win by the Eagles there.
Yeah, we really toughed it out. Didn't get off to the best start, but we were able to get back in that second quarter and just hang on there for a good hard win.
Yeah, I guess that's real character building. The fact that you didn't get that good start, you were down by, what, 6 or 7 goals at quarter time, but to come back, a big character build for all the players.
Oh, definitely. I mean, every week we've had a good quarter, so the focus was at half-time after we had a good second quarter was really trying to finish the game off, because the last couple of weeks have been pretty ordinary after that.
And yourself, you're sort of Mr. Fix-It, aren't you? You go back, you go forward, you play through the centre. What's going on today, and where do you prefer to play?
Oh, I probably prefer up forward, but, you know, we've got a few blokes out, so I'll just pinch in any holes I can, try and help the boys out.
Oh, Pass, well done today. Keep filling those holes, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate.
Low-scoring final quarter. Mark Passador, one of the key ingredients in that victory. As we look through the quarter by quarter, it was 36 points the margin at quarter time in favour of Norwood. It was 4 points in favour of the Eagles at half-time, I should say, three-quarter time. 3 points to Norwood, and what a finish. 2 points, the final margin. And as we go through those goal kickers, the multiples there with Westbrook, Passador and Vince. Vital goal, that one, and Oakley with 2 for the Eagles. And then to the right of screen there for the Norwood, Jamie Vlatko important up forward, Bryce Campbell, Scott Borlase and De Jong. An impressive big man. As we look through the stats, what do you make of them, Andrew?
Yeah, it didn't inside 50s really even out. 60 to Norwood. They went inside a lot in that last quarter with very little reward, with Eagles pushed back in numbers. Other than that, they really haven't had, they had 400 possessions. Today they've been held to 360. So they really have a lot of usage of the footy, and they've beaten the areas, but just felt at the end they didn't quite use the ball well enough as what they did earlier in the game.
Earlier this afternoon in the doubleheader, it was a 95-point victory. That is not a mistake, trust me. The Dogs were beaten by 95 points by Glenelg. What a great result that was. And I should also add that South Adelaide beating West Adelaide down at Encounter Bay by 56 points. And there was that score. South Adelaide 21-13. They'll be happy with that. West Adelaide 12-11. Next week, we're going for round 4 in the SANFL, our ABC TV match of the day, Saturday from 2:30, Port against South at Alberton. And of course, the Anzac Day rematch of the grand finalists. It's Centrals against the Eagles. Note that special time of 3 o'clock. Thanks for your company this afternoon. Neil Cross, Andrew Rogers, the whole team from ABC Footy. We'll see you next week.